Okay, what is up, traders? What's up, tycoons? Super excited for today's video on Casper, ticker symbol CSPR, and it just keeps happening, guys. Okay, we keep hitting the structures. Things are playing out so perfectly on Casper. If you didn't watch the last few videos on Casper, as I give updates on this one almost every week, if not every other week, we were initially looking for a 5-wave move to the upside from our demand zone here into our overhead supply zone. We got that, so check mark, right? And then I gave the major support levels that we needed to hold. Those are going to be the 38.2, 50%, and 61.8% retracement levels. The reason you do that and you have those is because nothing moves in a straight line up or a straight line down. You get a move up, retracement continuation higher, or a move down, retracement continuation lower. That's how you spot trend continuation. And we're looking at short-term bullish trends right here. So we want to see if those trends can continue. Now you can spot reversals if you move up, retrace, consolidate a little, and then break through those retracement levels. That's how you spot a reversal to the downside. Rather than getting a reversal to the downside after we got our initial 5-wave structure to the upside, we ended up holding above our 61.8% retracement level and getting the larger 3-wave structure that we were looking for, taking us up to our overhead supply zone here of about 0.04470 to 0.04825, and we did a great job. I pointed out how we had the same pattern right here indicated by these two trend lines, okay? And take a look at what happened last time we had the same exact pattern. We ended up breaking out into our overhead supply zones and getting some very nice bullish structure. And sure enough, Casper exploded very nicely. Now things have started to pull back. So we're going to go over the key levels to pay attention to and what you need to be cautious of. So the first thing we want to do, okay, is come down here and actually look at our MACD as well as the relative strength index. You can use these to spot potentials, entries, and exits, and also help understand the price action a little bit more. So the first thing that I want to highlight here is we do have a little bit of a bearish divergence currently at the moment. If you're not familiar with that, take a look how we have a high right here, and then we have a higher high right here. So clearly the price of Casper was going in an uptrend, increasing in price. Now, if we look at our relative strength index, we have a high and then a lower high at this point. So we actually decreased in relative strength, losing relative strength as the price of the token is going up. This is a term known as bearish divergence and could indicate we see some bearish activity. Now, let's combine some of our things that we've already went over. So we have a supply zone here. All right. Now, if you're not familiar with what a supply zone is, it's just a fancy term for an imbalance of sell orders, right? These are all live market auctions basically. And so what you're seeing at all times is, a system of buyers and sellers. So up here, we have an imbalance of sell orders, meaning that there's more sell orders than there is buy orders, and prices continue to push down in this range. So that's an indicator you may see some type of a sell-off, right? And then what do we get? We end up getting bearish divergence. So now we have two things telling us that, hey, we could pull back on Casper, right? Now, not to mention that, our third signal here was we ended up getting a MACD crossover to the downside. So we had about three things saying that we were going to pull back, but we did a really good job of holding this previous trend line that we were looking at here. Now we're going to clean up the chart a little bit after we've already gotten our large 3-wave structure to the upside that we were looking for. All right, we're going to go ahead and get rid of this, and we're also going to get rid of this smaller 5-wave structure to the downside that we initially had. Now, being that we've flipped our initial supply zone up here that we were price targeting to a demand zone where we've actually caused an imbalance to push price up higher, we're changing this to green. Okay, so we have our new demand zone here. Okay, and we did a good job. Okay, we've done a good job of pushing up into our overhead supply zone. We know that we had that bearish divergence as well as a MACD exit signal. So what we want to see, if you want to continue being bullish on Casper, is you want to see this RSI come up and not get rejected at the bearish divergence trend line. Okay, you want to see us ultimately break out and retest and reclaim this as support from resistance. Okay, if we break out from here, that could coincide with a breakout in the price action for Casper. All right. The other thing you want to see is you want to see this red line right here on the MACD curl back above the blue line. Okay. Just like we had sell signal over here previously on the MACD, and then we got a short pullback. Look at what we did. We held our 61.8% retracement level, and then the MACD curled back above, indicating bullish momentum. And what did we did? We broke out from our chart pattern and got that nice bullish cycle. So that's what we want to see if we're bullish, right? We want to see this thing curl back up, and we want to see this ultimately not get rejected and head back down, as that could put an end to any type of rally that we try to go forward with on Casper. Now, we've recently put in new highs, so we have to adjust our retracement levels, right? Because these were the levels off of the initial high that we put in, and then we retraced. So now we have to drag this up here to our new high that we put in. And look at how well these Fibonacci retracement levels are aligning with our new demand zone we have down here. So if you take a look, all right, after our most recent high, we did pull back, but yet again, we found support in the demand zone and above our 61.8% retracement level. So the key three levels that we need to really stay above are going to be 0.03921. As you can see, we're currently above there right now. 0.03650 and 0.03380. If we come down and break through these levels and break this demand zone, okay, and fall through our demand zone, there is the potential we could come back down and retest some of our lows. And some indicators of that would be the MACD continuing to head lower, the relative strength index continuing to head lower, or any rallies being rejected off of that bearish divergence trend line and heading lower. So definitely pay close attention to those. But for now, things are looking good. We're holding the major retracement levels, and we're also holding this previous trend line here. We did have some wicks down below, but all of the candles closed above, and we're back above the initial trend line here that we broke out of. So things still look good for Casper. We're going to see if bullishness can continue in the crypto atmosphere as a whole. And if we do come up to our overhead supply zone, the way that these zones work is the more times you test them, the weaker they get, right? So we tested these areas over here and we're selling off multiple times every time we entered into there. And then we came up here, consolidated a little, and we absorbed a lot of those sell orders that are in there. So we're going to see if we can absorb the sell orders up here, start to consolidate in this area. And we do have some bullish price targets to the upside above there, but you have to take things one step at a time. And for now, 0.04470 and 0.04825 is our overhead supply zone, where we're going to be battling a bunch of resistance. And if we can break through those resistance levels, we have a bullish price target up here of 0.05721 and 0.06270. So we're going to see if we can hit those. Still a lot of room, a lot of work to be done before we hit those. And definitely, you know, be looking at your MACD and your relative strength index, as well as your major retracement levels / this demand zone here. You want to see us trend in the right way if you're bullish. And, you know, if things start to pull back, you know, some of the signals to look out for and what to be cautious for. So that way you're not caught by surprise and hopefully not stuck holding the bag on a potentially big drop in case things do end up reversing. Now, if you made it this far in the video, I really appreciate you. Don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. And you're most likely going to enjoy one of these next two videos as well. So make sure to click on one of those.